Well, we've got good news and bad news. The good news is that YouTube's actually only saturated with low effort, low value, low quality content from inconsistent creators. And the bad news is that if you want to stand out, you can't be one of them. But I'm here to help. You're gonna have to step your game up and make your YouTube channel a destination channel. And here's how we're gonna do it. 4 easy steps. Let's start with high effort content. This is gonna come down to your ideas. You need to spend a lot more time on your ideation in YouTube. A lot of you are too fixated on editing and over-the-top effects. What you really need to do is come up with an impossible idea. I actually have an assignment and an exercise for you. This is something I tell people in part of our 12-week creator playbook. If you want the playbook, it's free. It's in the description down below. It's gonna help you focus. Start by writing down 20 impossible ideas. I want you to think about content that is extreme and over the top and very difficult for other people to do. You need to have ideas that disqualify most people who could be small or new YouTubers like you from trying to attempt this content. So it needs a higher level of difficulty. You see, you're not competing with all these low effort, low value, low quality creators on the platform. You're only actually competing with the top 10% of creators in your niche that people even care about. You probably can only name a handful of channels in your own niche, in your own style of content that you actually would watch. So we need to make content that can be competitive with that and disqualifies everyone else at the entry point from even trying. Okay, Roberto, but how would I do that when I'm starting from nothing? Well, this is where real world ability comes into place. This is also why I tell people to niche down, and I use Ikigai to demonstrate that. When we say niche down, we're talking about we're niching down to something where your ability also matches market fit. So you need something you're passionate about, but you actually have to be genuinely good at it. And I would suggest that you be slightly above average at it. So you need the capacity to do something at a very decent level of competency that other people aren't going to be able to do. In gaming, something that's called the most saturated niche in YouTube sometimes, you have a content creator named Onion Butter. He actually did very high effort content with the Hitman series by trying to do impossible stunts and impossible feats in the game. Like, can I beat Hitman without killing anybody? This is something that was a very compelling video, and this is why it went viral for him. When he repeated this formula, he was able to constantly get high view videos and get results. But it doesn't just work for entertainment channels and gamers. It actually works for education content too. You would just actually need something that you can do more research or have a higher level of access than other people that allows you to stand out and do something that most people can't do. A primary example of this is if you have the money, you can get early access to certain things. I used this and first mover advantage a couple of years ago to be able to make a video about the Microsoft Surface Studio before almost anyone else. It was only me, iJustine, and CNET that could do real world coverage of the Microsoft Surface Studio because I went to Adobe Max as a public speaker and I had access to a device while it was still shipping out to the other big YouTubers. It hadn't gotten to them yet. So I was able to get a video out early and I was able to get hundreds of thousands of views because of that. Find your unfair advantage and use it to come up with impossible ideas that you can actually pull off. Let's move to high value content. High value content is something a lot of you get confused about because big YouTubers keep saying, make quality content, quality over quantity. And they're actually getting this wrong. This is actually outdated advice and it confuses people. What you actually need is high value content because you need people to click on a video so they can see that you made a high quality video and a high quality experience. But you can only do that when you demonstrate upfront value that the viewer actually wants. One of the best ways to approach this is with social proof, but also understanding your audience better than anyone else, understanding what they desire and putting that thing in front of them. There are videos on this same channel that'll get 80, 100,000 views, 50,000 views, and then there are videos that will struggle to get 10,000. The quality of the videos is the same. Quality doesn't decide video views. Packaging does, and packaging is how you demonstrate value. It's no different than wearing name brands. That's social proof. That's why a lot of videos, if I have my silver YouTube play button in the thumbnail, they'll perform better than certain other videos. I also am able to use other things and not just social proof. I can use things like negativity bias. That's why the video, 97% of YouTubers fail, here's why. That video did extraordinarily well in a short period of time because it's using something psychological to put a contrast between a desire and a fear. And that's because I understand what motivates my audience. Now, there's other content that's just straight up educational, and it's not going to be able to really leverage that psychology unless I used extreme clickbait, but that makes it hard to deliver on the value that you're promising. You always want to keep your promises. So you can't abuse this too hard or people won't trust you. You have to be able to deliver on the value that you're promising in a title and thumbnail. And this is why topic, title, thumbnail, and timing matter. Quality, again, does not decide views because you don't know that a video is quality until after you click on it to watch, which we'll talk about here in a minute. To get packaging right and focus on topic, title, thumbnail, and timing, go back to the topic, our impossible idea. How are we demonstrating value and proving that we are going to deliver on that promise in our video? If you go to an iJustine video and she says reviewing every color of every Apple Watch, she shows you in the thumbnail of the video that she has every single Apple Watch color or every single iPhone color, whatever it is, in the thumbnail. You know that she's not lying. You know that she's going to deliver on the promise, and she has the social proof there of, hey, I have the thing that you came here for. I have the thing that you care about. If you're a newer small YouTuber and you're like, well, Roberto, I'm not a bodybuilder like Sam Sulek. I didn't go to med school like Ali Abdaal. I'm not a millionaire like Alex Hormozi. I don't have this social proof that you're talking about. There are other things that you can do to demonstrate value in your thumbnails. If you're a newer small YouTuber, making videos that are experience when you're going to go to your topic ideas and your titles, making videos that can be experiments like I tried blank or I did blank for 30 days, that actually can help you. If you are a fitness influencer, you could do something like saying, I tried Saitama's workout from One Punch Man for 30 days, and that might be a good video. Or maybe it's something like, I tried Jeff Bezos's morning routine for 30 days. Here's what happened. You just have to be very thoughtful and creative in your ideation process. And then you have to make sure that you're demonstrating value and you're being very literal for the viewer. So that's a no-brainer to actually click on your video. Demonstrate value up front. And then we got to get to quality so that they know that you aren't lying and that you're not full of it. If the value that we demonstrate and the total addressable market that demands and wants that value that we're supplying decides how many views you get, if value decides views, then quality decides subscribers and decides watch time and retention for your videos. If a video is good enough, we usually don't want to quit watching it. There's a reason we'll watch, or at least we used to watch, Marvel movies for like 2 hours, back when they were actually good. And so you would do that nonstop. You wouldn't even take a bathroom break. So for everybody worrying about how long should I make my videos, the thing is, if it's a good enough video, it doesn't matter how long you make it. When we talk about how long to make a video now, we're just kind of haggling over whether we want to get monetized or how many ads we want to put in a video, or how much or how little editing we actually want to do, because maybe we ain't got time for that. So when it comes to this, you want to have a quality experience throughout the video, and quality comes in a lot of different forms, but let me try and make it simple for you. Focus on your scripting and the structure, focus on the style of your video editing and at least making it interesting and unique, and make sure that it aids the story and takes away distractions. And then of course there is storytelling itself. So as long as you focus on your scripting and structure, your style and editing, and your overall storytelling and personality, then the video will be quality. At least on the subjective side of quality. When it comes to the objective side of quality, that's going to be lights, camera, audio. So you're going to want good video production, you're going to want good audio production, and you're going to want good lighting, because if you don't, then it's a distraction to the story in the video. It's a distraction to the script, to the structure, and the flow of the video. So that all has to be key. And this doesn't matter whether you're doing entertainment or education. When you're doing education, it's kind of important to have a very good hook at the beginning of the video. make sure that your promise is delivered and that people understand what they're supposed to get out of this, and that you keep it moving and you keep delivering value and things that they haven't heard before or expect. That's what you need to do in education content. In entertainment content, it's about emotional investment, and it's about creating stakes, and it's about creating intrigue, conflict, tension, and then by the end of the video, a result and releasing that tension. It's all about Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, that definitive beginning, middle, and end. The call to adventure, the conflict and struggles we have along the way, and then that satisfying release at the end when everything is resolved and all questions have now been answered, and our hero rides off into the sunset or the Dark Lord takes over, whichever way it goes. Let's talk about consistency for a minute. A lot of you think that this is just going to be, well, upload every week, upload 2 to 3 times a week. That can be important, and don't get me wrong, compound interest does come from consistency, but you need to be consistent in the value proposition. You have to keep giving people things they want. Now, if you're an educator like me, this can be difficult sometimes because what people want and what they need are 2 different things. And sometimes you can't always package it in a way that is going to excite or, make people curious, because sometimes you just need to tell people what it is, let them make up their own mind whether they value it or not. So that's rough on the education side. That's why sometimes we're going to get 100,000 views on an education video. Sometimes we're going to get 10,000 views. Because the thing is, if we only make what people want in education, they'll never learn anything they need to. Here's the good news for you entertainers, a little bit of good news, bad news. For you entertainers out there, you can abuse just giving people exactly what they want and only what they want. The problem is a lot of you doing this are going to find yourself unhappy because what you want to make, what you desperately want to make, the story you want to tell, the video you want to put out, is not always going to be what your audience wants to watch. Welcome to the struggle bus of us education channels. But for you entertainers, you could decide anytime you want to just entertain your audience and give them what they want, supply and demand. With education, we lose credibility if we only do clickbait and we set ourselves up for failure. A lot of education channels fall and they get exposed because after a certain point, they get seduced by the algorithm, they get seduced by the views, and they stop serving their audience and they only serve the numbers. They only serve the algorithm. So to the education content creators out there, I know it's rough and it sucks to not get consistent views sometimes, but you have to find balance somewhere, or you have to figure out a great format that you can repeat without being disingenuous. I feel like Ali Abdaal is one of the people who does the best job of this on the education side. I also really like the approach that Alex Hormozi takes, but not everybody has their levels of credibility and social proof in order to go in that direction. So there'll be ups and downs, kind of like what happens on the channel The Future from my good friend Chris Do. There are videos that they have that get knocked out of the park. They have 2 million plus subscribers. They'll get 200,000, 300,000 views on a video, and it might be literally an hour-long whiteboard session. And then they'll have another video that struggles to get 10,000, 20,000 views. And the quality never dropped off once. And they deliver very high value content, but it's not exactly what the majority of people in their market even know that they want. So you have to understand that value and what people want is going to decide how many views you get. But if you're consistent enough and you're uploading enough, the more you upload, the more opportunities you have for those outlier videos to overwhelm and outweigh videos that might be hit or miss. And so that is something that a lot of creators don't talk about. If I was going to tell you one secret to success and sustainable YouTube channels without going viral ever, then I would tell you it'd be this. It'd be high value content for a niche market that has a big enough total addressable market, what we call TAM, that also fits your passion and your abilities and is monetizable. Something that has like a good CPM, a good RPM, something where the views pay like $10 for every 1,000 views on YouTube, something that has a lot of sponsors and brand deals, something profitable. So I tell you, if you go into a profitable niche that has a big enough addressable market that fits your passion and your abilities and talents that best suits you, and you do that sustainably, you do 2 to 3 videos a week for 3 years, and you make sure that you have hundreds of evergreen videos. If you can pull that off, and you can diversify those income streams, you have a six-figure, if not a multiple six-figure successful YouTube channel that isn't dependent on getting viral views and might not even need 1 million views a month to make you $100,000 plus a year. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you actually watch my video on the most profitable niches in YouTube. It's going to be linked in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, go out there and create something awesome today. Take care.